guys. This is your girl, Black and Indigenous American. Happy Monday to you guys. So, once again, I am using a cell phone, but I found a way to prop the cell phone up so I'm not holding it the whole time. Okay, so I finished the book called The Alchemist, and it was the 25th anniversary. Let's see. And it was pretty good. Like I mentioned it in another video, I said that it's easy reading, and I thought it definitely was. The author is Paulo, Paulo, Coelho, Coelho. So this was like the 25th anniversary of The Alchemist. And like I said, it was very adventurous, and he was looking for a treasure. And in a roundabout way, what I got from this book is that everyone's path is very unique to that person. Not one person, not one path is going to be the only path to your personal treasure, or as he mentioned in the book, your personal legend, or your blueprint, or your path to your treasure. And the treasure in this book was definitely currency, gold. However, that does not necessarily mean that that's everyone's treasure. Some people's treasure is to, I don't know, see the Great Wall of China or something like that. I mean, that's what they want to do. But in this book, the treasure actually was the treasure. But it took years to get to the treasure. But along the way, there were obstacles to reach that treasure. And those obstacles were omens. Now, a lot of people, when they think of omens, they think of something negative, low vibration or whatever like that. But not all omens are not negative. They're just predictions. And in this book, an omen was either something that was uncomfortable that was going to lead you to your treasure, or something that was fabulous that was going to lead you to your treasure. The ones or those who don't reach their personal legend or their treasure are those who settle for what they're familiar with, their comfort zone, following someone else's blueprint, following someone else's life path. And when it does not work for them exactly like it did for that, you know, public speaker who makes millions of dollars, and he's or she is telling you how they did it, they probably are telling you how they made it. But that was their path, that was their walk. And just because it worked for them, that does not necessarily mean if you buy their seminar books and all that you're going to have the same outcome. Not necessarily. But like I said, in this book, he had a lot of obstacles. But along the way, he encountered individuals or circumstances that if he did not experience those scenarios, then it would not have led him to that treasure at the end of the story. And not just that treasure, but he also found other things that he felt that were worth more than gold. but initially he was searching for gold. So there was a few times where he thought, well, you know what? I'm a pretty wealthy man. I don't really need anything. I really don't have to go find that treasure that I wanted to find. I could just settle for what I have because I'm pretty content right about now. I'm pretty content. And the thing is, when people are content and they don't necessarily fulfill that dream or that personal legend, that's what I kept saying in the book, personal legend, then what that does is it it actually for a while you're content, for a few years or whatever like that, but that in the back of your head, what if I did continue to listen to my heart? That was a common theme in this book as well, listening to your heart. What if I would have listened to my heart? you know what if I would have continued? So at the end of the day, it's like, okay, well, a lot of people feel like they missed out. They feel like they've missed out on the what ifs if it would have worked out. But they wanted to play it safe, and I understand because right now in my current life, things are being shaken up, as far as stability and relocating and all that stuff. So um, I'm being shoved, I believe, by my spiritual team in a direction that it's not necessarily comfortable for me. It's not necessarily comfortable. It's the unknown, you know what I mean? And again, you could read someone else's journey, someone else's blueprint, and how it worked out for them. But really, there's no guarantee that what they did is going to work for you. You have to experience, you have to go through it yourself in order to know. And there is a flip of a coin, the red pill or the blue pill, left or right. Either way, when you make that decision, it's your decision. And eventually, you are going to reach your treasure. You're going to reach your personal legend. It just may not necessarily be as quickly as you would have liked it to be. But eventually, you're going to reach your personal legend, your personal treasure. Um, and this is where it goes into multiple lifetimes for those who do believe in that. And I'm leaning more towards that now because if you don't get it in this lifetime, you are eventually going to get it. And another theme of the book was um, transformation. And you're unable to transform if you are in your comfort zone all the time. There needs to be some kind of friction or whatever to help you transform. I'm thinking about whenever we're uncomfortable. Some people, they need to be uncomfortable before they make a move. They need to be uncomfortable before they take that next step. Because as long as they're comfortable, as long as they're content, they're not going anywhere. They're not going to grow, advance in their life. And when I say advance, I mean like bettering themselves. They're going to stay where they're going to stay, and it is what it is. But as soon as they get uncomfortable, as soon as, the situation flips them upside down, then they're pushed into the direction they need to go in order to transform, right? And so I say all of this because we need to continue to grow, continue to be our best, to do our best. And eventually, and again, this is like a theme of the book as well, towards the end, eventually, you're going to become one. We're all going to become one, and we're all going to eventually make our way back to the nothingness. Well, that's what I got from the book. And the nothingness is a very high dimensional level. Like right now, I think we're in the third dimension, if I'm not mistaken. Like this reality right now. And the nothingness is, I think it's 9 dimensions or higher, because the average person doesn't know how many dimensions there are after the ninth dimension. I want to say the heavens, as many of us have been taught most of our lives, the heavens are apparently the fourth dimension, and we're in the third dimension. So the heavens that we've been taught is still in the matrix, from what I'm learning thus far. This is new stuff that I'm learning, y'all. In order to get out of the matrix, I'm sure many of you have heard of the movie The Matrix. In order to get out of this matrix, we will have to reach the nothingness status, the high, very, very, very high dimensional status, higher than 9 dimensional, whatever. So that's some serious levels, one will have to embark in order to get to the highest of the highest dimension. But at the same time, we're transforming to be our best, do our best, and all of that. But eventually, each one of us, and when I say each one of us, all creation is part of the highest divinity. All creation is part of the nothingness. And the nothingness is the ultimate, the everything, the source. I call it highest divinity. Long story short, God. And I'm talking about the big G God. And whatever else is out there that we have yet to discover. But we're all we're pieces of the huge puzzle. And all of us are going to become one and be part of the nothingness. But yeah, transformation. Yeah, it would be nice to, at this point in my life, to be, already living in the house the past 15, 20 years. Haven't moved, probably won't move, and retire at the same house. Get that first and only job right out of high school, or maybe right fresh out of college, and build up a reputation there, and have all these, benefits of working at a place for 30 plus years, right? Rank and all of that. But what else is there? What else is there once you've done all of that? What else is there? There's more to life than the pensions, the retirement plan, a few awards on your job, being a high-ranking official, or high-level leadership, um, an honorable citizen of your community, and blah 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 blah. That looks real good on paper, you know. But at the same time, it's like for someone like me that would have been more comfortable in a situation like that, my path, my direction was the rug was pulled from up underneath me early on in life. And with that said, I've had to find creative ways to get where I am today. And now I have another shakeup in life that is catapulting me to another level. Again, transformation. When it's all said and done and when everything's revealed to me, because I'm still, I'm still waiting to see with my naked eye. I'm waiting for that. But once that's revealed to me in this reality and the physical, I will be happy to share with you guys how it all went down. Right now, I'm in that phase or that stage when you plant a seed and gestation phase. I think that's what they call it. I'm not a farmer or planter, so but where you plant it and you water it and then you wait. And I think at this point I'm in that waiting stage. So again, back to the book. It was refreshing because the main character, which was referred to as the boy, he was a bit naive, but he followed his heart. And even though when he followed his heart, sometimes it took him down some uncomfortable paths, and he thought that he was stupid. Like, oh, why was I so stupid? Why did I do that? I should have just stayed a shepherd. I should have just stayed in my small village and just kept doing what I was doing. Now look at me, you know. And sometimes I feel like that. And I'm sure I'm not the only one. Wherever you were, where you were doing pretty good or you thought you were doing pretty good, and, you know, you kind of question your decisions. Like for me, I went to get my master's degree. And let's just say I'm not using that degree. It's as if I paid somebody to drill me, the typical master's degree level, graduate level of stress and all of that. And you assume that when you go through all of that, you get that piece of paper, you get that badge or that stamp of approval that you are now legit and you are more than capable of going out there and being, whatever you got your degree in. It doesn't work that way in this decade. So I'm sitting on like $88,000 worth of grad school debt. Not undergrad, grad school. So again, back to the book Alchemist. And I'm just using this as an example with the student debt thing. And I mean, there's other things in my life that I question. But I followed my heart. And even though I'm not using my master's degree right now, because it was in management, but I've learned some things. I've learned how to communicate with other people. Uh, I used um, remote access. I'm pretty good with remote access. Like, I don't have to necessarily be in a particular place, communicate with people. I mean, some people feel the need to be in a meeting area in person to read someone's body language and all of that stuff. I don't need all that. I know how to use the internet, the computer. I know how to um, do webinars and remote access. I know how to train people remotely. I mean, I did a training, I want to say back in February, where I trained people down in Tampa. And so, I mean, I would say I learned a lot of that when I was getting my master's degree because everything was online. Everything. And one thing about online um, uh, classes, and I'm talking about affiliate, universities. I ain't talking about uh, them online classes that, are a joke. But anyway, I say all of this because when you have online classes like that, they really structure the lectures and the courses very, very, very difficult. And the master's degree is already a difficult task in and of itself. And for me, that was a self fulfillment because I like to push myself. And that's probably part of the issue because I like to learn. I like to achieve something that is difficult. And I'm probably attracting difficulty because I put it out in the universe. I like a challenge. I literally said, I like a challenge. I like challenges. I need to stop saying that. I need to stop saying I love a challenge. I love to learn. I love to complete a task or a project that's complicated for other people, but easy for me. See, I need to reword some stuff. Because for me, I'm attracting uh, more complicated situations, even though I get through it, and it's self fulfilling, knowing that I did it. But it doesn't have to be so difficult. And we all create our own reality. And for years, many people, including myself, have been taught to work hard, go to school, and your life won't be a whole lot better. I'm done working hard. I am done working hard. I am ready to be strategic and live the rest of my physical life here, transforming myself, my spirit, my being, and uplifting other people, the ones that want to be uplifted. That's pretty much where I am right now. I don't want to spend so much time and effort and energy doing difficult projects or whatever and not getting the fulfillment that I prefer on a spiritual level. I can do a project all day and then I leave the office and I feel drained. I don't feel alive. I'm sure that makes sense to some of you guys. I don't feel alive. Um, I feel drained. And time is money, and obviously they're paying me for my time. And I do like aspects of what I do, which is research. I'm a nerd. I admit it. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, let me reword it. I love to learn things that are challenging for other people, but it's easy for me to comprehend and to learn. I love that. Next chapter in this reality of mine that I've been creating, the next chapter is self transformation. And not hoping and wishing, but knowing it. So I'm going to end this here and be blessed, be a blessing to others. And until next time, toodles, guys, and good night.